Hey guys, welcome back again. So here we are, the Python BACnet Stacks Playground. We're studying some applications in BACnet for using Python. And the two networking stacks that are BACpipes and BAC0. Just reference some of the earlier videos for getting set up with VS Code, the VS Code extensions, the Linux terminal tool for Windows, and then also setting up Python and the BACnet scanning tool. So yesterday we covered some of the theory on day 9. So we looked at some of loops, a while true loop, and some if else control statements. So I think we could probably butter up our vibe code app 2. So if you guys remember, we're still here for our vibe code checkpoint for our app 2, which will be basically using the BACnet read multiple, save data to a CSV file, and then we'll probably vibe code some kind of a tool to rotate the CSV files every day. So we're kind of in the middle of I don't think as we get into more of week 3, we'll start actually using the CSV file importing tool that's built into Python, but maybe we could just probably vibe code it a little bit earlier before we see it in our theory lecture, but that's probably okay. So but we're still here, we're still working with BAC0 and our CSV file, saving our data to CSV file, and then we'll just use this existing BACnet read multiple. So if we're here, we proved this the other day with the BACnet scanning tool. So we could do here, we could probably even do our while true loop. So if you remember, I think we should be able to do, so this is all async await type programming, which is the asynchronous programming that's really popular in network stacks and then Python web app, backend web app applications. So don't worry about that too much. It's just really fancy way of heavy IO processes, inbound, outbound. So I think we could just do our while true loop that we studied in our theory lecture yesterday, and then we put a continuous while true loop. So, and then this is only sleeping for 1 second. So I think what we want to do is add another time.sleep. So we could say we could put it here at the bottom, and it should be able to do an await. Async.io is the asynchronous library that runs all this code that BACpipes and BAC0 is built off of. So we could even do, let's do a timer. So we could do sleep time seconds. We could just do maybe 30 seconds. 30 seconds to me is requesting a lot of data. I don't think that you'd be doing that in the field that often if you're collecting data for HVAC operations. I've seen research studies where we used to do 60 seconds, and that was even a lot of data. So if you were just scraping data just for fun or collecting it, letting it run long term, I would do every 5 minutes or 300 seconds. But for this demo, we could probably just do this in Python. BACnet vibe code app 2. Okay, so we should go BAC0 fires up, and then if we looked at on a BACnet scanning tool, BAC0 would be responding to, this is my BACnet instance ID of 3056322, which looks like what BAC0 defaults as. So that's what we would be doing. So, and then this will be in our while true loop, which we learned yesterday. So if we wanted to run this forever, we could just put it like this. We could probably put some kind of an interrupt there. But I think this will be good for now. And then So these are our VAV box hard-coded values. So maybe we could start. So I wanted to do two devices. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to put the VAV box stuff next to the air handling unit stuff. So, all right, so it looks like it works. So this is how we would use some of the theory we learned yesterday of the while true loop. And maybe tomorrow we'll just hard code in all of the points for the air handling unit. These are the fake devices. So just reference the earlier videos. These are fake devices, and I've pointed out on the repo where the fake device scripts are that I'm running on some old Raspberry Pis. So tomorrow we will just this will be VAV box read multiple request, and then we could even make an air handling unit one too. It's almost kind of tempting just to put this like well, never mind, we can't do that. So this is just kind of made this kind of funny. I don't think the human wouldn't do that. Like how AI has like this neat way of like formatting the code. Like even this stuff is, you know, no human would be doing that, but make that a little bit more normal. Okay, so tomorrow we'll add in our air handling unit points, and then we'll put in an AHU request multiple, and then we'll request two read multiple points in two big batches, receive a lot of objects back, and then we'll slowly build this into a script that could save the data locally to a CSV file. Kind of fun. All right, so that's running. So I'm just going to Control C it to interrupt. One thing that I do play around with from time to time, there's a Python package called BAC. That's a formatter. So you can do python-m install it with pip. Like we did before, we did a pip install BAC0 and a BACpipes3. And then you can also install another tool called BLAC. I just want to see what this is good. Oops, I forgot to say the word install. So it looks like I have all these installed already. So you can just run one, you can just put the package name right after each other, and then it'll install all of them or just one, whatever you want. So then I can do python-m call BLAC, and then I think we could do, maybe we could format our code. So this is a code formatter, and it might change the way this looks. So it didn't do too much. Sometimes if there's AI generated code, it's a formatter, so it'll format it a little bit. And there's even like VS Code extensions and shortcuts, but I usually just do it through the command prompt. So it says it reformatted it. I can't really see where it did anything, but I kind of like using the BLAC tool. It kind of makes the code nice and neat looking and professional. All right, so that code is looking a lot better than it was before. It was really nasty. I thought the way that it looked right from artificial intelligence, and it was doing all this really complicated things of like discovering the device with a whois, and then doing a BACnet object request to get all the points inside, and then it was doing way too much stuff, or you'd never want to do that in a real long-term application. Like my own personal opinion is like you should just be hard coding this stuff, because it really limits the amount of requests on the network. which AI was generating code to generate all of that data from a network request, but we can do that ahead of time with our BACnet scan tool. And then there's only one request. There's no whois, like we said earlier, only do the whois if you're setting up a system and you never run it long term, continuously doing whois requests. Okay, so enough of that. So let's get into, see if we can pound out day 10 of our lessons, theory lessons. Hopefully these don't get too hard. Or else it just might take me longer than a half an hour or 20 minutes to complete. Okay, strings. Strings was our important data structure. If you remember, BAC0 uses a lot of strings under the hood. Like in our, this is all strings, what we're trying to request, our property. And then how BAC0 was, uses a lot of strings to parse, even our vibe code app 1. This was all F strings right here. So strings are an important data structure. So the learn to break strings apart, put them back together, transform their case. By the end, you'll be able to split, join, strip, and lower to process text. So that's what BAC0 must be doing under the hood. It's processing text and then putting it into a network request to BAC pipes deeper under the hood. Python's strings are objects, provide useful methods for common text operations. String.split returns a list of words in the string and using an optional separator to determine where to split. If no separator is provided, runs of whitespace are treated as a single operator and empty results are suppressed. String.join method performs an inverse it concatenates the strings in an iterable inserting the string it is called on between elements and returning the result. The .strip method returns the leading and trailing characters, and .lower returns a copy of the string. So pretty basic. So I think it's like one big string right here. This is a split, and it turns everything by the comma and into a dictionary right here, or into a list. Same thing here. So you split based on the space character. So it's actually kind of nice that one thing that Python supports strings, and there's a bunch of built-in ways to process strings. So Python is a very friendly language to process strings. If you were going into a different coding language, let's say like C, like very primitive, low-level coding language, strings don't exist. I think they're actually characters, individual characters. That's it. So you have to there's none of these stripping tools, lower, nothing like that exists. So you would have to code up for loops and do all of your string manipulation completely manually. So there is really cool things that Python supports in manipulating strings. So which I think all higher level languages have, probably like Java or C#, C++ have stuff like this too. But Python is really nice to play around with strings. Okay, so data sources require text processing separated by commas or other delimiters. Being able to split strings into lists, strip unwanted characters, and join them back together is essential for parsing CSV files or whatever. So some of this stuff you might just do with AI because it's just gotten so convenient to do with AI. So maybe just do a mini lesson right away. Just doing it the same style. Okay, so here we go. Given the string 1, 2, 3, call the split and observe the empty strings. How would you remove the empties? Ooh. Okay, so here's this. So I'm just gonna do Python script lesson. Okay, so remove the empties. I can't even remember. So what do we have to do here? So removing leading changing characters. It'll give us removes the leading string characters. So maybe we could just call that strip. I wonder what that does. I'm almost curious to see if this works. Looks like that'll error out. A list. Okay, so maybe we'll do this. Still has empties. All right, so how would you remove the empties? I guess I don't even know. Oh, maybe we have to. I'm just gonna call this raw. Then we'll have to save that to here. So line raw fields equals raw dot split. This won't work either. Shoot. Remove the empties. Okay, so great. So now we have something we don't know how to do. So maybe we'll just Google it. Join, split, and strip. Strip. Think. So we could just do this. So that appeared to get one of them. So strip. Strip, the method removes the leading and trailing characters. Removes the leading and trailing characters, defaulting to white space. I might have to cheat here. Given the string, call split and observe the empty strings as a result. How would you remove the empty strings? Alright, so this is fun stuff, guys. Have to use your head a little bit and don't cheat with AI. Whoops. Print fields. Haven't cheated with the AI yet. Okay, so maybe I will just I'm just going to make something up here. Clean list equals an empty list. Then I'm going to say for word in fields, because this is just a list right here. If word does not equal empty string, you can say clean list dot append word. And just print clean list. There might be an optimized way to do that, but at least I removed the empty strings in there. So just by looping through all of the, the dirty list that was converted from a string. And then if the word does not equal an empty string, append it to a new empty clean list. Let's see what, I'm just gonna Google this in AI mode, see what if Google has a better way of coming up with this. Okay, so they used some iteration here. So this is list iteration, so you can for loop right inside of the list directly. That's kind of some pretty advanced Python programming, so good enough. Maybe that was good enough. Okay, so split the word. BACnet uses UDP into words and then join them with underscores to make it look like that. Oh boy. Okay, so sometimes strings are kind of hard. See if we have a I'm gonna do this one. That's us some code to cheat with, so we set it underscores. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a string. My string equals BACnet uses UDP, which it does. So UDP is the underlying. It's not a TCP protocol; it's a UDP protocol. Port 47808 by default. So if we want to split the sentence and then join them, so I could do my string split equals my string dot split. And I'm just gonna say new string equals my string. I'm just gonna see what this looks like. Okay, that worked. So that we successfully converted this string to that string. Ta-da! Okay, so you take the user entered string with extra spaces and convert it into lowercase. Okay, so this is the input function. So we would be doing input. I think it says, hello, what do you want? I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna print this just to make sure it's working. Okay, so that worked. So take a user entered string with extra spaces and convert it into lowercase after stripping white space. After stripping white space. So my string cleaned equals my string dot strip, which I think is just the default, and then we could just do print my string. I'm just going to enter a bunch of text in here with some spaces, and it did not strip anything. Oh wait, I have to print the clean version right here. Okay, get some random strings, and it still didn't strip it. Take a user enter string with extra spaces and convert it to lowercase after stripping the white spaces. Okay, so we could do, you just did this. Text.lower. I'm just gonna do this. Normalized. Probably a better word to use, normalized. some spaces. All right, so good enough. I think it removed the leading strings or the leading white spaces. So I think that'll be good enough for me. Good enough. Combine, split, and join to reverse the order of words. I think I could just do, there's a reverse. I think there's a reverse. Maybe not. Split and join. I'm almost tempted just to cheat a little bit. Combine, split, and join to reverse the order of words in a sentence. Oh boy. So maybe I'll just say this is my line. So I'll just see if I can copy this right here. Oh, working with strings is lovely. So maybe if I just do this, here's the split. Okay, so everything is now in a list. So now it wants to reverse it. Combine, split, and join to reverse the order of words. I'm kind of curious as to Google this. Reverse elements in a list. Python. I swear there's like a dot reverse. Yeah, dot reverse. None. I don't know why that didn't work. Field equals field dot reverse. Guess it doesn't work with a list of with a list of strings. Combine. I'm just going to see what AI comes up with this. All right, so I think I know what they're doing here. So we want to do fields dot reverse. All right, so this was kind of confusing, is that this is its own, you don't equal something right here. Like when I did fields like that, that returns none. But if you do fields that reverse on the list directly, that works. So then if we do something then kind of like this, a dot join. So if I do final equals dot join fields, I think. Print final. Okay, so that worked. So now we have a new string. So So we reverse the original string. And observe the empty strings are in the result, and then now we have result, the in string, empty, the observe, and. Okay, so we did it. Whew, daunting. So I've been getting a little bit nervous that these theory lessons will get really hard as soon as we get down to algorithms, but I think this is the good stuff. This is how we get good at Python, and when AI starts creating bogus code for you, you get the confidence that whatever AI is producing, that redo it, revise it. So sorry if these videos are getting kind of long, but the theory is I think the theory is still important to study, even if AI is generating code these days. So it looks like tomorrow we're going to get into dictionaries, which is another important data structure. So we'll be doing that a lot once we get into backpipes too. So have a good one. Talk to you guys tomorrow.